Changquan takes shape on the basis of Zhaquan, Huaquan, Paoquan, Hongquan, and Shaolinquan. It is a kind of fist which is smooth in posture, flexible in movements, swift as well as vigorous, and of distinct rhythm. It contains movements such as flipping and jumping, waving and turning, dodging and moving, tumbling and rolling. It is a major event of routine competitions in modern Wushu. Elementary Changquan Routine 3, Elementary Daoshu, Elementary Jianshu, Elementary Qiangshu, and Elementary Gunshu belong to the compulsory routine. It was compiled by Wushu experts from across the country, organized by Sports Department of former State Physical Culture and Sports Commission in the 1950s, and published successively during the period from 1956 to 1958. It emphasizes the basic skill and approach of Wushu, stresses the meaning of attacking and defending of movements, moderate in difficulty and suitable for Wushu elementary teaching and training. Practice of more than 50 years prove it widely adaptable and effective, and it has become the classical teaching material in promoting Wushu, especially teenagers' teaching and training. In order to make it convenient for everybody to learn and master them better, we will introduce separately the basic movements, the equipment, the approach, and the whole set of routine of Elementary Changquan Routine 3, Elementary Daoshu, Elementary Jianshu, Elementary Qiangshu, and Elementary Gunshu below. Fist. Tightly roll up the 5 fingers with the back of hand flat and the thumb pressed on the second knuckle of the forefinger and the middle finger. Palm. Stretch out or bend the thumb, with the other 4 fingers strengthened together backward. Hook hand. Bend the wrist with the 5 fingertips together, or the thumb, the forefinger and the middle finger together to form a hook. Thrust punch. Bend the arm and hit the fist fast from the waist forward, with the strength extending onto the back of hand. Plant punch. Stretch the bent arm downward or front downward swiftly, with the strength extending onto the back of hand. Hammer strike. Raise the arm, then bend it and strike downward, with the palm of the fist up and the strength extending onto the back of hand. Straight arm chop. Chop swiftly the fist downward or forward from side of body, with the arm straightened, the palm of the fist up, and the strength extending onto the back of hand. Palm push. Push the upended palm fast from the waist forward at high speed, with the arm straightened and the strength extending to the outline of the palm. Palm push is also called palm strike. Palm turning. Bend the arm slightly, shake the wrist, and turn the palm. Then raise it to the side of body or over the head. Piercing palm. Stretch the bent arm along the body. with the palm of the hand up and the strength extending onto the fingertips. Tilt palm. Raise the arm and the wrist upward and tilt the up-ended palm, with the strength extending to the forefingers. Hook elbowing. Raise the arm flat on side body, with the palm of the fist downward, then hook the forearm inwards. Elbowing. Crook the elbow and clench the fist with the palm of the fist downward. Then head the elbow forward or sideward with the strength onto the elbow end. Upward elbow block. Bend the forearm upward with the palm of the fist inwards. Hold the strength in the forearm and elbow inwards as inwards block, outward as outward block. Bow stance, with the tiptoe of the front foot slightly inwards and the whole sole on land. Bend the knee to semi-squat, leveling the thigh and knee vertical to the tiptoe. Straighten the other leg with the tiptoe pointing inwards and slant forward with the whole sole on land. Horse stance. Stand with the distance between the feet 3 times the length of a foot, tiptoe pointing forward, and then leveling the thigh. Empty stance. With the tiptoe of the back foot slanting forward, bend the knee to semi-squat, leveling the thigh with the whole sole on land. Bend the front leg slightly with a tensing instep, and the tiptoe softly pointing the ground. Squatting stance. Squat one leg with the hip clinging to the shank, and pull the whole sole on land, with the knee and the tiptoe slightly outward. Stretch the other leg close to the ground, with the whole sole on land and the tiptoe pointing inwards. Resting stance. Cross the legs and squat, with the whole sole of front foot on land and the tiptoe pointing outward. Lift the heel of the back foot and the hip cling to the shank. Splitting stance. Cross the legs with the tiptoe of the front foot pointing outward at 45 degrees and the whole sole on land, and bend the knee to the semi-squat, leveling the thigh. Straighten the other leg with the front part of the sole on land and the tiptoe pointing forward. Cross-legged sitting. Cross the legs and sitting downward, with the hip, the outside of the back leg, and the instep all on land. The thigh of the front leg clings to the chest. T-step. Stand with the legs semi-squatting together, the whole sole of one foot on land and the other clinging to the inside of the supporting foot, with the tiptoe touching the ground. Back cross step. One leg takes a lateral step from behind the other leg, crossing the legs. Front cross step. One leg takes a lateral step from ahead of the other leg, crossing the legs. Shift and jumping step. Lift one leg and the other leg bounce the other, with the lifted leg landing inside of the bouncing one. Snap kick. Stand with the supporting leg upstanding or slightly bent, and kick the other bent leg straight forward to the height lower than the waist, with tensing knee and instep. The lower leg should bounce quickly and powerfully, with the strength extending to the tiptoe. Heel kick. Stand with the supporting leg upstanding or slightly bent, and kick the other bent leg straight forward with crooked tiptoe. Kick vigorously with the heel to the height between the chest and the waist, with the strength extending to the heel. Side saw kick. Stand with the supporting leg upstanding or slightly bent, and kick the other bent leg straight sideward, with crooked tiptoe pointing inwards, the strength extending to the heel, the upper part of the body leaning and foot kicking higher than above the waist. Front kick. Stand with the supporting leg upstanding and the whole sole on land. Straighten the other leg and kick forward with the crooked tiptoe reaching to the forehead. The kick should be light, quick, and powerful, with the upper part of the body upstanding. Front slap kick. Stand with the supporting leg upstanding and kick with the other leg upward, tensing the instep flat. Slap in flat in front of the forehead with a hand on the same side, and the slapping should be accurately loud and clear. Knee raised balance. Stand steady on the supporting leg with the upper part of the body upstanding. Raise the other leg in front of the body with bent knee close to the chest, the slanting shank hanging down inwards, and the instep tensing flat inwards. Watch moon balance. Stand steady with the supporting leg upstanding or slightly bent. Lean the upper part of the body, twist the waist and stretch it upward to the same side of the supporting leg, throwing the chest and lowering the waist. Lift the other leg upward on the same side of the supporting leg, with the shank bent inwards, the instep tensing flat, and the sole upwards. Joint leap. Jump with one stamping foot and leap with the other. The leaping distance should be longer than bow stance. Throw the chest and hold the head high in the air, extending the body. Jump and kick with the jumping leg bent to the straight forward, with the crooked tiptoe higher than the waist and strength extending to the heel. Jump front kick. Lift high the swinging leg and straighten upward jumping leg with the instep tensing flat over the shoulders. Slapping should be continuously quick, accurate, loud, and clear. The whole set of elementary Changquan Routine 3 consists of 4 sections and 36 movements, including commencing and finishing movements. It contains 3 hand forms, including fist, palm, and hook hand, 7 stances, including bow stance, horse stance, squatting stance, empty stance, and resting stance, 13 hand techniques, including punch, fist hack, piercing palm, tilt palm, elbowing, and hook elbowing, as well as 4 leg techniques, 2 jumping techniques, 1 balance technique, and various footwork. The skills and features of Changquan include quick hands, sharp eyes, flexible body, steady steps, energetic spirits, relaxed breathing, smooth strength, proficient techniques, complying with the rules, and expressing movements in natural forms. Please watch the demonstration of the whole routine of Elementary Changquan Routine 3. Please watch again the back demonstration of the whole routine of Elementary Changquan Routine 3. Broadsword twinning head. Hold the broadsword in the right hand and lift it with the arm revolving inwards. Bend the elbow to make the blade point hung down. Then swing the broadsword with the back of the blade skimming over from the left shoulder across the back to the right shoulder, keeping the head upstanding. Broadsword wrapping head. Hold the broadsword in the right hand and lift it with the arm revolving outwards. Bend the elbow to make the blade point hung down. Then swing the broadsword with the back of the blade skimming over from the right shoulder across the back to the left shoulder, keeping the head upstanding. Broadsword thrust. Hold the broadsword in the right hand, with the blade downwards, upwards, or towards the left. Thrust it straightly forward, with the strength extending to the point of the blade, and the arm and the broadsword in a straight line. Broadsword chop. Hold the broadsword in the right hand, chop it downwards, with the strength extending to the blade, and the arm and the broadsword in a straight line. Broadsword uppercut. Hold the broadsword in the right hand, cut it forward and upwards, with the strength extending to the front part of the blade. Broadsword parry. Hold the broadsword in the right hand, parry it from front upwards and backwards, or downwards and backwards, with the strength extending to the front part of the back of the blade. Broadsword hack. Hold the broadsword in the right hand, hack it to the left and right, with the strength extending to the blade and the arm straightened. Broadsword backward parry. Hold the broadsword in the right hand and lift it with the arm revolving inwards. Bend the elbow, parry the broadsword backwards with the hilt pointing forward, or parry it backwards to the side with the point forward and the blade towards the left. Broadsword sweep. Hold the broadsword in the right hand, sweep it towards the left and the right at the height of the ankle, with the strength extending to the blade. Revolving broadsword sweep requires one lap or above. The whole set of elementary Daoshu consists of 4 sections and 34 movements, including commencing and finishing movements. It contains 7 stances, including bow stance, horse stance, squatting stance, empty stance, and resting stance. 14 broadsword techniques, including broadsword twinning head, broadsword wrapping head, broadsword thrust, broadsword chop, and broadsword sweep, as well as leg techniques, jumping techniques, balance techniques, and various footwork. The skills and features of broadsword play include striking like a fierce tiger, jumping lightly and swiftly, quick, mysterious, and unpredictable playing, integrating the broadsword with hands, and assisted strength from the waist. Please watch the demonstration of the whole routine of elementary Daoshu. Please watch again the back demonstration of the whole routine of elementary Dao Shu. Sword thrust. Hold the sword in the right hand. Thrust the sword forward with it upstanding or flat. The arm and the sword are in a straight line, with the strength extending to the point of the blade. Sword chop. Hold the sword in the right hand with it upstanding. Chop it downwards. The arm and the sword are in a straight line, with the strength extending to the blade. Sword uppercut. Hold the sword in the right hand with it upstanding. Chop it forward and upwards, with the strength extending to the front of the blade. Sword upward parry. Hold the sword in the right hand with it upstanding. Parry it with the point of the blade upwards and backwards, or downwards and backwards, with the strength extending to the blade. Sword pointing. Hold the sword in the right hand with it upstanding. Raise the wrist and make the point of the blade vigorously downwards, with the strength extending to the point and the arm straightened. Sword slicing. Hold the sword in the right hand with it flat. Slide the sword from the front towards the left or from the back forward, in a curve, at the height of the chest or between the chest and the belly, with the strength extending to the blade of the sword. Sword hack. Hold the sword in the right hand, hack it flat toward the left laterally, with the strength extending to the blade and the arm straightened. Sword side parry. Hold the sword in the right hand and parry it aside upwards or downwards, with the strength extending to the front part of the blade and the arm and the sword in a straight line. Sword tilting. Hold the sword in the right hand with it upstanding. Lower the wrist and make the point of the blade vigorously upwards, with the strength extending to the point of the blade and the arm straightened. The point of the blade should be raised above the head. Cloud sword. Hold the sword in the right hand, circle it flat as to form clouds over the head or the front top around the wrist as the axis, holding up the head. sword finger. Straighten the forefinger and middle finger together. Other fingers roll to the palm. Press the thumb onto the first knuckle of the ring finger. The whole set of elementary jianshu consists of 4 sections and 34 movements, including commencing and finishing movements. It contains 7 stances, including bow stance, squatting stance, empty stance, resting stance, and cross-legged sitting. 14 sword techniques, including sword thrust, sword chop, sword uppercut, sword upward parry, sword hack, and sword pointing, as well as 2 balance techniques and various footwork. The skills and features of jianshu include lightly and swift playing, active body, flexible wrist, integrating both force and tenderness, and facile and graceful manners. Please watch the demonstration of the whole routine of elementary jianshu. Please watch again the back demonstration of the whole routine of elementary jianshu. Left downward spear block. Hold the spear with both hands, pointing the head outwards in a curve. The height should be lower than the head and higher than the hip. Right downward spear block. Hold the spear with both hands, pointing the head inwards in a curve. The height should be lower than the head and higher than the hip. Spear thrust. Hold the spear with both hands and strike it straight forward. The strength extends to the head of the spear to make it quiver. The back hand should touch the front one. Spear push. Hold the spear with both hands with it level or upstanding. Push the spear forward or towards the side of the body, with the arms straightened. Spear downward strike. Hold the spear with both hands and strike downwards powerfully and vigorously, with the strength extending to the head of the spear. Spear parry. Hold the spear with both hands and parry the body of the spear left and right. The strength should be light, swift, and balanced, to parry it in a moderate width. Parry the spear head downwards, lower than the knees and above the ground. Spear and tilt. Hold the spear with both hands and raise the spear end upwards, with the strength extending to the spear end. Spear and cover. Hold the spear with both hands and cover the spear end from back forward and downward, with the strength extending to the spear end. Spear figure 8. Hold the spear with both hands and cling it to the body. Straighten the spear and circle it around fast and continuously. The whole set of elementary qiangshu consists of 4 sections and 30 movements, including commencing and finishing movements. It contains 7 stances, including bow stance, house stance, squatting stance, empty stance, and resting stance. 11 spear techniques, including left downward spear block, right downward spear block, spear thrust, spear downward strike, spear parry, and spear figure 8. Left downward spear block, right downward spear block, and spear thrust are at the core of the routine, combined with various footwork such as back cross step, leaping, and revolving step, which fully reflects the basic techniques of pitching one point with a spar like a swimming dragon. The skills and features of qiangshu include thrust in a line, 4 flats, flat top, flat shoulders, flat spear, and flat feet. Front hand like a pipe, back hand like a lock. Perfecting skills in a circle. Please watch the demonstration of the whole routine of elementary qiangshu. Please watch again the back demonstration of the whole routine of elementary qiangshu. Cudgel downward strike. Hold the cudgel with both hands and strike it downwards swiftly and powerfully, with the strings extending to the head of the cudgel. Cudgel uppercut. Hold the cudgel with both hands and cut the cudgel fast forward or backward along the left or the right side of the body, with the strings extending to the end of the cudgel. Cudgel parry. Hold the cudgel with both hands. Parry the cudgel end or the cudgel head slantingly, forward and upward, left and right. The strings should be light, quick, and steady, to parry it in a moderate width. Cudgel swing. Hold the cudgel with both hands and swing it with the cudgel head above the chest toward the left or the right for half a lap or above. Swing it fast and vigorously with the strings extending to the front of the cudgel. Cudgel downward slap. Hold the cudgel with both hands and slap it flat to the ground fast and vigorously. Cudgel tilting. Hold the cudgel with both hands and tilt the cudgel head upwards or left and right, with the strings extending to the head of the cudgel. Cudgel piercing. Hold the cudgel with both hands and pierce the cudgel head or the cudgel end in a straight line forward, sideward, or backward, with the strings extending to the cudgel head. Cudgel pointing. Hold the cudgel with both hands and point the cudgel head briefly and powerfully, with the strings extending to the cudgel head. Cudgel end tilt. Hold the cudgel with both hands and tilt the cudgel end upwards, with the strings extending to the cudgel end. The whole set of elementary Wushu consists of 4 sections and 34 movements, including commencing and finishing movements. It contains 5 stances, including bow stance, horse stance, and empty stance. 14 cudgel techniques, including cudgel downward strike, cudgel uppercut, cudgel parry, cudgel swing, cudgel downward slap, and cudgel piercing, as well as balance techniques, leg techniques, and various footwork. The skills and features of Wushu include changing movements with shifting the cudgel end, striking with the cudgel end fixed, using the cudgel as both spear and stick with the head and end, and blowing sideways like a whirlwind. Please watch the demonstration of the whole routine of elementary Wushu. Please watch again the back demonstration of the whole routine of elementary 棍术. Changquan takes shape on the basis of Zhaquan, Huaquan, Paoquan, Hongquan, and Shaolinquan. It is a kind of fist which is smooth in posture, flexible in movements, swift as well as vigorous, and of distinct rhythm. It contains movements such as flipping and jumping, waving and turning, dodging and moving, tumbling and rolling. It is a major event of routine competitions in modern Wushu. Elementary Changquan Routine 3, Elementary Daoshu, Elementary Jianshu, Elementary Xiangshu, and Elementary Gunshu belong to the compulsory routine. It was compiled by Wushu experts from across the country, organized by Sports Department of former State Physical Culture and Sports Commission in the 1950s, and published successively during the period from 1956 to 1958. It emphasizes the basic skill and approach of Wushu, stresses the meaning of attacking and defending of movements, moderate in difficulty and suitable for Wushu elementary teaching and training. Practice of more than 50 years prove it widely adaptable and effective, and it has become the classical teaching material in promoting Wushu, especially teenagers' teaching and training. In order to make it convenient for everybody to learn and master them better, we will introduce separately the basic movements, the equipment, the approach, and the whole set of routine of Elementary Changquan Routine 3, Elementary Daoshu, Elementary Jianshu, Elementary Qiangshu, and Elementary Gunshu below. Fist. Tightly roll up the 5 fingers with the back of hand flat and the thumb pressed on the second knuckle of the forefinger and the middle finger. Palm. Stretch out or bend the thumb, with the other 4 fingers strengthened together backward. Hook hand. Bend the wrist with the 5 fingertips together, or the thumb, the forefinger and the middle finger together to form a hook.